Recently on Rising Fridays, Ryan and Emily spoke with investigative reporter at the Washington Examiner, Andrew Kerr, about new leaked audio recordings from the Hunter Biden laptop, discussing his influence over his father, Joe. Let's listen.
Anything that I wanted to, that he believes in, if I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain. So it is not going to be about whether my dad thinks it's going to affect his politics. No, it won't. It's not going to be whether or not he's going to be embarrassed of me. He never will. It's not going to. All of those concerns that you have with all of the people that you know, that are the children of, I have none of them.
We then discussed on our show how much more leaked audio is implicating President Joe Biden in his son's foreign business dealings. Let's listen to that.
And it's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, that's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
This is a major. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre answered questions on that matter. Let's watch.
And then on a different topic, why is there a voicemail of the president talking to his son about his overseas business dealings if the president has said he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings?
Well, first I'll say that what the president said stands. So if that's what the president said, that is what stands. And secondly,
about a New York Times article concerning Hunter Biden's business dealings, and he says, "I think you're clear." How is that not him talking to his son about his overseas business dealings?
We're not, from this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
So are you disputing the president's voice on the voicemail?
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
it's
you
not
disputing
happening
then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to his son's representative.
Okay.
Good.
I mean, alleged materials, come on. I can't believe they're still playing this game where like, the laptop, if it exists and if it's real, we know it exists.
I still can't believe you're talking about the laptop.
Well, we're talking about it in part because we continue to find new interesting things on it that further elucidate the relationship, the connection between Hunter Biden and his father. We want to know whether there was something improper, whether we know basically for certain that Hunter Biden was attempting to leverage his relationship with his dad in terms of these foreign dealings. That's pretty much established. The question is, how much was Joe Biden a witting participant in that, if at all? And that, I think, is still an open question. But when they say something like, well, he had no knowledge of any of this, but then you play a recording of him calling his son to talk about it and say, oh, looks like everything's okay, that I think that's a perfectly valid question to ask the press secretary. Does that contradict what Biden said about that earlier? And her answer was just like, well, if we even know that it's real, we know that it's real. It's confirmed that it's real. They tried to play it out. That's what they did from the start. They being Team Biden and their allies in the media and their allies in the intelligence community. Remember the 40 or however many officials saying was, oh, this is a Russian disinformation propaganda episode.
Yeah.
It's true. It's real. It actually exists. The information on it is real. You can do whatever you want with it. You can say it doesn't change my opinion of Joe Biden, or it maligns Hunter Biden but not Joe. Whatever, that's fine. But you can't still pretend that like Russia did this, which is what I hear from her when she says that.
Listen, a lot of things can be true. Let's discuss all the things that can be true. It's real, right? Okay, the laptop is real. We got it.
Yes.
2, it's a lie. He lied, right? They asked him whether or not he knew about his son's dealings. He said, no, that's a lie, right?
Yeah.
He knows. 3, that's a bad answer from her, but she's also in the position where it's her job to I guess, defend and speak for the president. And she's backed
in the press secretary's job.
She's backed into a corner, so I'll let her rock. As far as it goes, honestly, listen, I understand that people, especially on the right, are very fixated on this Hunter Biden's laptop, just like they were very fixated on Hunter Biden himself. it just does not do it for me in interest level. Like, what are we learning? That Biden is close to his son, he loves his son, he'll do anything. We knew. I knew. It's not particularly revolutionary. The last president we had that I think is morally bankrupt, unethical by all means, has had all the accusations, currently dealing with him and his relation to an insurrection, had his children in administration. It's not really, I get it. I think if we were having a general conversation about nepotism, how they have their children involved in all these things, that criticism can be made. I am not somebody who is cheerleading for Joe Biden. So it's not me trying to make a defense of him at all. I just don't think this is particularly compelling. I get it. I heard it. It's real. But what did we hear? The first audio is Hunter Biden saying, my daddy loves me. My daddy is not embarrassed of me. My daddy will care about what I got going on. Yeah, that's usually.
I will agree that the principled anti-nepotism voter doesn't have a great alternative to turn to in terms of the 2020 election. Because yes, the Trump children were even in the administration, and yes, they have a lot of interesting dealings, including like a very public kind of relationship with Saudi Arabia. All that said, it's still. Yeah. We still want to know. We deserve to know. We need to know.
We can know
the extent to which Biden was. Maybe the answer is no. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he. But now we.
And listen, and maybe he did.
It does look like there was some. He was involved, right, in the or maybe distantly when Hunter Biden was in charge of what, Amtrak or whatever it was. Like that was totally inappropriate.
And maybe, and listen,
totally
maybe it was. I am not going to defend him on those grounds. It is very possible. Joe Biden has done tons of things I disapprove of that I think are, incorrect, not just in terms of morally, but in terms of what he should be doing in the role he plays. And should it turn out, that he did something untoward, cool, let the criticism fly. I'm an equal opportunity hater. But what I'm saying is, I just don't think what we've heard so far is particularly compelling enough for why we keep beating this horse down on what we're getting from the laptop. We get it. We know it. Y'all don't like Biden. Hunter Biden is a little bit he's a problem child. We know.
For me, the bigger issue is how this story was so rejected from the get-go by certain
because of the motivations.
Corridors.
I think the motivations. I think the right. First, I just think the right.
You weren't allowed to post this story. The initial story about the laptop was erased from social media at the urging
I don't disagree
of
with
government
you.
Intelligence officials.
I don't disagree with you, and the way they've managed social media is wild. I don't agree with the federal government's role it tries to take on, we should have committees, we should censor this, we should edit. I don't. Obviously, whether it be Democrats or Republicans, I think massive governmental control and government trying to suppress stories and viewpoints is always a dangerous game because the government has a motivation. It just does. So I'm in alignment with you there. I just think in terms of why, just in terms of general sentiment, why you see disinterest on terms of the left, is because the motivations just feel disingenuous and it just doesn't feel that exciting or compelling of a Biden criticism. I think there are lots, but this particular one, especially in virtue to who else we just dealt with, like for those reasons above, it just doesn't move me none. But I agree with you. I agree that they can discover, they have a right to look into this story if they want. They have a right to discuss it. And they have a right to criticize him should they find more evidence of lies. And I think call him out. It was a lie, right? He said he didn't know about it.
Right, that there's a rich banquet of reasons to be dissatisfied with Joe Biden.
Exactly.
And if you want to skip the meat and go straight to dessert, that's fine. I don't really know where I'm going with this analogy.
I think it's a salad.
You think this is the salad?
It's the appetizer. Right. The salad.
The roast beef is the inflation.
Yes.
Is absolutely.
Yes, Robby, we right here.
So I'll have a second helping of that. I don't know why. What am I doing?
I love it. Listen,
where did this come from?
I love alignment. So I'll take the analogy, Robby.
All right. Well, we'll continue to follow, of course, any new developments in the Hunter Biden laptop story, and we'll have more Rising right after this.